Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today's story is something that happened, I want to say, about 5 years ago, maybe. It's when I first met my wife. It's kind of a funny story. But it was, I was at a friend's house. I took my wife over there with me. We were at my friend's house over in Ontario. We were there to watch some fight. I think it was some UFC fights or something. We were hanging out in the garage. She had do like a kind of like a bar. I think he was barbecuing, or no, he ordered pizza or some shit. But he had all the friends over to watch the fights. He had his garage hooked up, kind of like what I have, how I have my garage hooked up. Actually, that's where I got the idea to start hooking up my garage was from my little homie Oscar, because he had hooked his garage up and put a big TV in there and couches and shit. So we used to all hang out there. They never parked their cars in the garage. He just parked his bike in there, and that was it. And so we went over there. It was a bunch of us hanging out watching the fights and shit. And we got there kind of early, probably like 3 o'clock, and so we started drinking, and we're having a good time. This is when me and my wife first started to fucking date each other, to see each other. And anyways, one of my homies was there, and he had some girl that he was seeing at the time with him, and she smoked a lot of weed. Me, I hadn't smoked weed since the year 2000, and before that, it had to be um, 1990. No, 1992. When I was locked up, I smoked a little bit of weed when I was locked up in 1992. But when I got out, I wasn't fucking around with weed. Um, so I hadn't smoked weed from 92 to 2000. And I remember it was 2000 because I was going to UEI, the United Education Institute, right here in Ontario. And I went to a party, and one of the administrators was there, and he was smoking a blunt. And we're sitting on the couch. He's like, "Hey, you want to hit this?" And I was like, "Nah, I don't fuck around with weed." And he's like, "Just try it." He told me it's chronic. He's like, "Just try it." And I was like, "All right." I took like a hit of it. I had never smoked that shit before. When I was smoking weed, we were smoking like skunk weed and shit like that. You know what I mean? We weren't smoking all this high grade shit that they started coming out with chronic and all that hydro and all that other shit they were smoking. Um, so I hit that blunt that dude had, and I just remember coming up and going down, up and down. That's the way the high felt. I feel awake, and then I feel like tired, and I'm sitting on the couch, and then I feel awake. I didn't like the feeling, and so I didn't smoke it again. So now we're, 5 years ago. So we're 2023. So 2018, 19, 2019. It was 2019 when this happened. Um, so you're talking about 19 years later. Now they have all this other shit. You know what I mean? So anyway, we're there partying, and I'm already buzzing from drinking. I've been drinking since like 3 o'clock when I got there. Now it's probably like, I don't know, the fights were over, so it's probably like 9 o'clock already. So I'm kind of buzzed. And so she starts smoking the blunt, and my wife was off to the side talking to my buddy's wife, or the girl that he was dating at the time. But they ended up getting married. But anyways, she was over talking to her, and I'm standing there with my other partner, his girl that's smoking that blunt, and she's like, "You want some?" And I was like, "Nah, I don't fuck with that shit." And she's like, "Why not?" I said, "I haven't smoked since like 2000, and I smoked some chronic. I hit it a couple times, and that was it. I didn't like the feeling of it." And she's like, "Oh, just try this." So I said, "Fuck it, give it to me." So I got it, and I hit it really hard, and I gave it back to her, and uh, I was waiting a couple minutes, but I didn't feel shit. So she's like, "How you feeling?" I said, "I don't feel anything." I said, "That shit you got is whack. It's weak." And she's like, "No, that's a good shit." And I was like, "But I don't feel nothing." I said, "Give it to me again." So she gave it to me. I hit it a couple more times really hard. Started coughing and shit, gave it back to her. So I'm just standing there with bullshit and everything, and then my wife comes over. She's standing next to me, And then all of a sudden, I just started going forward, and I had to put my hands down. So I'm standing there, but I'm bent forward like I'm exercising. My hands are touching the ground. And they were like, "Oh shit, get him a chair." So they give me a chair, put a chair behind me, and they like my two of my friends come, they push me back on the chair, like sit down. Well, actually no, I stood up and I started to sway side to side, really hard, and then I fell again forward. That's when they put the chair. So I sat down. She's like, "What's going on?" My wife's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "Fuck, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on?" Like, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Nah," like, and she tells him like, "Did you guys give him something?" And the girl's like, "Yeah, he hit my blunt." And she's like, "What? You gave him that shit? He hasn't smoked weed in years. Like, what the fuck?" She's like, "He wanted it." And so she's like kneeling next to me. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No." Like, no, I'm not. I don't know what the fuck is going on, you know? So I'm like getting paranoid. And like I said in other videos, I always carry, like, I always have a knife or something on me, you know what I mean? Whether it's a knife, fucking a pick, I always have something on me, you know? And I had this big fucking blade. It's about this big. I had it. It's a buck knife, but it's not the foldable one. It's it's a long black one like that. I had it in the sheath right here on my side. And I started to get really fucking paranoid, you know. And I'm just sitting there, and everybody they're laughing. They think it's funny, you know, because I'm high as shit. Like, and they were like, "Oh fuck," you know. They said, "Oh shit, he got crossfaded," which I had never heard of that shit before in my life. I don't know what the fuck that was. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about crossfaded? You know, they were like, "Man, you should have gave him that. He was already fucking buzzing really good from the alcohol. Then you give him that fucking that weed, whatever you're smoking, and he got crossfaded." So I'm just sitting there thinking like, what the? I don't know what the hell they're even talking about. But what I do know is I started to get really, really fucking paranoid. And I remember sitting there and I'm just looking around at all my friends, and like by that time, most of them were back in their little groups talking and shit, you know. And I'm telling my wife, well, she was at my girlfriend at the time. I was telling her, say, "Hey, I need you to go home," because she had took me there, and she's like, "Why?" And I said, "Because these guys are gonna do something to me." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I'm just like, "They're gonna do something to me. They're fucking they're plotting against me right now. You know what I mean? They're gonna do something to me, you know, and I need you to leave." And she's like, "Well, why do you want me to leave? I'm on, we just go." And I said, "No, no, no, I can't. You gotta go." And I said, "I'm gonna just start stabbing these motherfuckers right now, you know." And that was my plan. In my mind, I'm thinking they're grouping up and they're plotting against me. And I have this knife. I had already unbuckled it, and I'm waiting because I want her to leave. Because in my mind, I'm just as soon as she leaves, I'm gonna get up and I'm just gonna start sticking all these dudes. Anybody I can stick, I'm gonna stick them because I'm thinking they're plotting against me, that they're gonna do something to me. And I was really genuinely scared that these dudes were gonna do something to me. So I'm telling her to leave. I don't want you to see what I'm gonna do right now. I need you to fucking get in the car and I need you to leave. And she's like, "I'm not gonna leave you here. I'm not gonna leave." I said, "You have to leave." And so she's like, "I'm not gonna leave. I am not gonna leave you here." And I said, "I'm gonna start stabbing these motherfuckers right now because they're gonna do something to me, and I don't want them. I don't want you to see what I'm gonna do to these guys." And she's like, "I'm not gonna leave you." And so in my mind, I start thinking like, "Fuck, what am I gonna do?" I'm looking around. I'm fucking scared now. I was so fucking high or crossfaded, paranoid, scared that I was like, about to call the fucking cops on myself. In my mind, I'm telling myself, just fucking call 911 right now. Just dial 911, put the phone in your pocket. The cops will come, they'll take you. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm gonna fucking go off right now. I'm gonna start stabbing these guys because these guys are gonna do something to me. You know what I mean? And I don't want her to see that. So I should just call the cops myself. You know what I mean? And have them come here, and then I can get myself out of this situation because I don't want her to see what I'm gonna, because I'm gonna end up killing somebody right now because these guys are plotting against me. You know what I mean? And I can't. I don't want to leave. It was just like my mind was fucking going nuts. And so I'm just sitting there, and then they start coming back like, "Hey man, hey Mike, you all right, man? You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." I'm just looking at them, "Yeah, I'm fine," you know. And she's like, "No, he's not. He's paranoid." And they're like, Mike, everything's good, man. Like, hey, relax, dude. Like, just calm down. You know, I'm just looking at them like thinking like, what the fuck are these guys gonna do? And so my wife's like, man, you got she shouldn't have gave him that. Like he never smoked that kind of shit before and he's fucked up, you know? So like, hey Mike, let's get you up and we're gonna put you on the couch over here in the garage. Put you on the couch, man. Just lay there. Just lay there and try to fall asleep. Try to fucking sleep it off, you know, sleep for a little while, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, try to sleep some of it off, you know what I mean? So a couple of guys came from beside me, picked me up, and they walked me over to the couch. And I'm laying on the couch, and I think I'm laying on her lap, like I'm just laying there, and I'm looking around and shit, you know. And I'm still fucking scared, like man, these guys are gonna do something to me, you know. And I'm telling her, you gotta go. And she's like, I'm not gonna leave you here. I'm gonna stay right here. I'm not gonna leave you. So I'm just laying. She's like, just go to sleep. Just try to fall asleep for a little while. And so I did. I ended up passing out right there on the couch. Just I fell asleep for a little bit, maybe like half hour, 40 minutes or some shit like that. I fell asleep and I woke up and it was already starting to wear off, you know? So I sit up and I'm not paranoid no more. And I'm just, but I can remember everything that happened. I remember it. It wasn't like I was so high that I couldn't remember what was happening. I knew what my thoughts were at the time. But when I woke up, I wasn't paranoid no more. You know, I wasn't as high anymore. You know, I was still a little bit high, but not really. You know, my buzz started to go away and shit. And I was just like, man, let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here. I got to get out of here, you know. And so I get up and I tell my people I'm gone, you know, I'm going to take off. So they're like, you're all right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good now. So she, we get into the car and we leave and shit, you know. And I was apologizing to her, you know, like telling her, hey, I'm sorry, you know. I hope this doesn't fuck things up for me and you that, you know, that I acted that way. You know, I said, I don't act that way like that. You know, I don't smoke weed. And, and the shit just got me scared and it got me paranoid. I don't know. I said, but I won't do that shit no more. You know what I mean? Um, so since then, I didn't do it no more. Well, when I found out I had the cancer, one of the doctors that I went to go see one day, she was like, have you tried marijuana? And I was like, no, I haven't smoked that shit for years, you know. And I said, I'm afraid of it, you know. She's like, you can try some. Don't try the high dosages. They have some lower dosages. They have the little vape pen type things. You know, it'll help you sleep and all this and that. You know, you can try it and see how it works, or you try the edibles. So I was kind of afraid to do it, but I said, okay, fuck it. I went down to the little shop over in Pomona, right there on I think it's Holt and Dudley, and I got. I told the girl that I have cancer. I just found I have cancer, and I need something to help me fall asleep, to bring me down to sleep. So she's like, okay. I said, but I don't want to be really like super high. So she's like, I'm gonna tell you this little vape thing. Only hit it a little bit. See what it does. Wait like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. If it gets you a little where you need to be, like where you're tired, you go to sleep, then that's it. If it doesn't, hit it a little bit more. So she sold me one of these. I bought this one like 6 months ago, 7 months ago. It's still, there's a little bit at the bottom. I haven't, I didn't even finish it. I would just hit it a little bit. Like one day I hit it hard on accident. 'Cause I had let it sit for a little while. And the shit kind of, I guess it got build up in there or some shit. So I charged it. And I tried to hit it. And it was like, it was stuck. It was like clogged. It's like, fuck, man, I was throw this away and go buy another one, right? But I put, there's a little hole in it. I would plug the little hole in, try to hit it. And finally it fucking unclogged. And I took in a fucking shitload of that. And I'm coughing like crazy. I'm like, oh my God, like, I didn't want to do that. I was just trying to take a little toke of it, you know what I mean? This, when I hit that shit and then unclogged, it just shot a bunch of the fucking smoke into my lungs. And then I started coughing. And then I remember just sitting there thinking, I told my wife, oh fuck. Like I just hit that shit way too hard. So I'm laying, because I was doing it in the bed. I was laying in bed watching TV. And with those things, it would take me like 10 minutes before I felt anything. Well, shit, I started fucking feeling like way out, like, oh, fuck. And I started getting like a little paranoid, a little scared, like, oh my God, I'm gonna flip out again like last time. So I just told myself, just go to sleep. Just fuck like they told me last time. Just go to sleep. Just close your eyes and let it hit you, but it'll put you to sleep. So I did. I went to sleep because I started getting paranoid. Like, oh fuck, I'm gonna freak out right now. So ever since then, I didn't hit it no more. I don't even think the motherfucker's charged. Yeah, it's not even charged. Um, yeah, ever since then, I haven't hit it no more. Uh, I do have the edibles. Yes, he's dead. There's a red light on. I do have the edibles though. I have like two little containers of edibles. I'd rather do those than the vape pen. You know, they're little gummies. I take like half of one, and it'll get me where I need to be to go to sleep. If I take a full one, that's when I start to be. It's weird because I'll sit there and I know motherfuckers that get high. They probably think the same thing. Like, I'll take a half of an edible. I mean, if I take a whole edible, I'll sit there and it takes like 40 minutes for the shit to hit me. But finally, when it hits me, I'll be watching TV and then I'll start thinking weird shit. You know, I'll be like, what am I watching? Why am I watching this? What the hell did you just say right now? Am I talking to myself? Why am I talking to myself? I'll start doing shit like that. Like, why am I talking to myself for? What the fuck is going on? Like, it's like time stops and I don't know what the fuck is going on. And then then I'll tell myself, like, hey, snap out of that shit. And I'll just like, it'll take me back to like where I'm actually at, like at the moment. You know what I mean? But I'll zoom out. Not like I'm going crazy or nothing, but I'll just start questioning shit. Like, why am I even talking? Why am I saying that? You know, and I don't like that fucking feeling. I don't like that feeling. So when I start feeling like that, I start shaking up like, hey, fucking relax. Go to sleep. Just go to sleep. So I'll close my eyes and I'll knock out. You know what I mean? It's just that feeling. So now I only take like half the little gummy. If I take one, I'll take a half and I'll just chill right there. It'll hit me, but it won't do that. It's the full ones that when I take a full one is when I start to fucking feel like that. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm watching TV. I don't know what the fuck is even going on. It's like I'm looking at the TV, but I'm not watching it. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't even know what I'm watching. Like it could be like the TV could shut off and I'm still staring at it. Like, and then my mind will start to go off. Like, what are you doing? And they'll start thinking other shit. Then I'll start like, wait, why are you talking to yourself for? And why are you saying that for? Now, like, oh shit, I'm gonna freak out. Go ahead and go to sleep. Just close your eyes and go to sleep. So that's why I'll take like only half of one of those fucking one of those gummies. I guess after a while you get you'll start to tolerate it more. But I never got to that point because I wasn't doing it. I haven't done it like often. I haven't took an edible in probably like about 2 months, and I have like 2 packs of them in my room. Maybe I'll take half one tonight and see how I feel. But I just don't like that feeling of I don't. I mean, I do have control, but then you feel like you don't. You know, I'm not freaking out, but I just don't like the feeling of like I get lost for a moment. That's what it is. I'm like I get lost in that shit for a moment, and I gotta shake it off and be like, get your shit together, man. Don't freak out, cause I start thinking like that. Like I'm a fucking freak out right now, and so that's why I haven't been doing it. But yeah, that's the first time that's ever happened to me as far as being crossfaded. And when I tell people that story, that's the first thing they say, like, "Oh, you got crossfaded." I'm like, I never heard of that before. I used to smoke weed when I was a kid. I used to drink and smoke weed. But when I was a kid, we were smoking joints, you know, thin joints. I never understood the guys nowadays. Like you watch Snoop Dogg and all the motherfuckers, and they'll smoke like 6 blunts, 5, 6 blunts. They keep passing them. It's like you ain't gonna get no higher. Or you get the guy to buy a sack of fucking some bud. They'll break it up, make one big blunt out of it, and they'll smoke the whole fucking thing. It's like you know you just wasted a shitload of weed. You know if you roll that shit up in a zigzag and you smoked it, you're gonna get high you ain't gonna get no higher by smoking the whole fucking bag. I mean, especially when you have a high tolerance. You know what I mean? So, to me, it's like you guys just wasted a lot of fucking money right there. I would buy a nickel bag and roll up in zigzag, roll up a couple small joints, and I'd hit the shit. Sometimes I only smoke half of it, and I get high. I get a little high, drink beer, and chill. These guys want to buy a fucking sack and smoke the whole thing and a couple blunts. Just keep passing. Like, I never understood that, and I don't know how. I don't think you can get. You only can get so high. You're not gonna go any higher than that. So why would you waste all your fucking weed? Why would you waste all that money? So when I see people doing when they were doing that, most people are smoking with the fucking vape pens now. You know what I mean? And this one that I have is like, I don't know, the fucking the THC level on it is something like, I don't know, like 40% or some shit. It's not really that high. You know, and I didn't even know that you can get it at percentages like that until I went to the Stimmy. I think it's called Stimmy or Stims or whatever the fuck that place is called. When I went there, they're like, oh yeah, yeah, you can get like, I said, I don't want anything to fuck me all up. She's like, no, I'll give you a low dosage. So she's like, this is like 40% or some shit. And she's like, just hit it once, a little bit. That's it. See where it takes you. So I did. I think when I do it like that, I'm okay. But if I do like two good ones and I hold that shit in too long, that's when my mind starts to fucking wander. I'm like, nah, I gotta go to sleep. And I'm not even drinking at the time. I'm just laying in bed trying to hit that shit so I can go to sleep because I was having problems sleeping, which I'm having problems again now. And so that's why I'm like, maybe I'll take a half an edible today and see how it works for me, if because I haven't did it in a while, and try to give me some rest, you know. But I don't think this is gonna work. I think it's been sitting for too long now. I mean, there's a little bit still in there, but I think it kind of like, because it's not even moving, it's not even falling. So I think it's kind of like it kind of thickened up or tarred up on me. I don't know. I'll wait until it's fully charged and see what happens. But yeah, that's the time that I got crossfaded. I never had that shit happen before. That shit was scary. It was really scary. That's one of my scariest moments because I was afraid of what I was gonna do. And if she would have left, if my wife would have left, I would have started stabbing them because I was so afraid of they were plotting against me. They were in little groups of guys and they were talking about me and they were gonna do something to me, and I was like, you know, just get the fuck out of here. I wasn't gonna leave because I'm thinking they're plotting against me. They're gonna do something to me. I'm not gonna leave. Fuck that. You leave, I'll handle my business. You know what I mean? That's just the way I am. Like, no, go ahead and take off. I'm gonna stay here and see what these guys are gonna do. And she was like, nah. So if she would have left, I probably would have fucking went through with it. I mean, I knew I would have because I was at that point already. I had already unbuckled the knife. I was waiting for her to go. So when she got in the car and left, I got up and I was just start sticking whoever was right there. But she stayed there. She stayed there. She wouldn't leave. She's like, I'm not gonna leave. And so you know, they just laid me down. I fell asleep and woke up feeling better. But yeah, I'll never do that shit again. You know, I'll never smoke like that again. That's a scary fucking feeling. I didn't know you can get like that off weed. You know, maybe of crack and meth and all that shit. But I did not know that you can get so paranoid off of marijuana or blunts that you'd want to stab people, that you get scared like that, you know? So that kind of scared me straight from doing shit like that, you know, as far as trying to be the tough guy. Like, oh, give me some more. That's nothing. Fuck that. That's a scary fucking feeling. So anyway, that's my story. Please like, share, and subscribe to the videos. Hit the notification bell. And I really appreciate you guys following me and watching the videos. I'm down right. I think I'm at 860 right now. I think I got some more followers. So I think I'm at 860 right now. So I need 140. 140. You guys help me out, man. Give me the 140. I appreciate it. I mean, give me that 140 that I need so I hit that 1,000. Anyways, take care, and I'll be talking to you guys.